Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it on to the team. UBK play for kings. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' get a sweet. This a whole nother way, boy. Tell them get the fuck on the beat, boy. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here breach. They come through all black, gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black, gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black, gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat, man. This shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming, Benny, bees. Need them devils screaming out, let it work. Somebody close the curtain. We gon' grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, on them lines, they ain't work. Them niggas weak, I said the church. I'm a West nigga, that's what's certain. They come the line, I'm gon' back up, and I'ma hit his ass with his life. And I 2, 2, 300 strong, 144 in night. All my niggas weak. Minutes bitch with the ice. That all y'all do street. Day out of the street. The nigga made their wrong move when he made his ass up and leave. Ain't one of us hit the lead. Ain't one of us hit break. Go through all black gully jack, man. All the niggas go retreat. I keep it on to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck. And my youngin' did a sweet. This a whole nother way. Tell them get the fuck on the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here breach. Man, come through all black gully jack, man. All the niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All the niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All the niggas go retreat. That's on my face. It's for real, baby. Hit the split on my dick was in the field. Talk is kind just an after Uncle Phil. And then my pockets on the move. I can steal it. I speak true cause it's necessary. Color Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime, but peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We ride bad this rap shit. All black, no gray shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on that cap shit. I can't on to the team. UBK play for keys. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on the deck. And my youngin' did a sweet. These a whole nother way. Tell them get the fuck on the beach. I'm in the field with the keys. Ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. Make change.
For homicide detectives, the clock starts ticking. The moment they are called, their chance of solving the murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours.
How you really think you keep my brother safe? Brother safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. Daughter's plate. You fucking losers on the game relate. You harm him, you will probably on the first 48. 48. You will probably on the first 48. 48. Probably on the first 48. How you really think you keep my daughter's safe? You harm him, you will probably on the first 48. Sitting in that room, interrogating voice. They asking why I do it. I tell them I had no choice. Couldn't take a threat or a risk to my family, so throw the book at me. I take them charges happily. Ain't no need for no polygraphs or forensics. I put that fucker in a body bag, I'll admit it. Fuck a sentence or the jury that will convict me. They don't understand it, my family ain't representing me. So for them, I risk my freedom, roll the dice. I ain't got much more for you practice. Go ahead and give me life. You don't know what it's like. For the people that you love, they there to get salute. They there to The same that the pull me from the dirt and from the mud. It's gonna be because of who? Y'all have to check the blood. My brother's kids like my other kids. If you touch them, fuck around, get another big touch them. Put me in the super max. I get super jack, working out every day. Canteen super stack, food attack. Long as they need my daughter's sake. My brother's winning, that's the chance I take. Kill my face. I do everything to keep my brother safe. Brother safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. Daughter's plate. You fucking losers, brothers can't relate. You all need you, I'm finding you number 40. I got wives that the day they y'all the same beside me. Kids that they see me fall, look at me proudly. Respected by men when I know up on their names. You home one of them, I promise that you'll be paid. I'm one West train, made an oath to uphold it. Stood with my back against the wall, never folded. Grew up in the city where the love ain't brotherly. I ain't had too many friends, I ain't need the company. I'm my father's son, so I'm cool, this won't fuck with me. I say that you my homie, you're my brother, then you stuck with me. Never turn my back on mine, it's to the dirt. You cross them across that line, I eat first. But only make it worse, cause loyalty hard to find. Never think cause you out of sight, you out of mind. And now I'm dying now, cause reincarnation got me coming back. Same scars in my heart aching, before laying with killers from all places. Every last one of them for me, a broad take shit. So what you think? I won't do it for them. Once they let me out the cell, shit, I do it again. It's for the fans. I do anything to keep my brother safe. Brother safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. Daughter's plate. You fucking losing, brother, can't relate. You home nigga, you a find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my people safe. You home nigga, you a find me on the first 48.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Israel. We the ISUPK started on the 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. I'm Priest Officer 50 Karanya Allen, and this is a Sunday night, Nothing New Under the Sun class, episode 6, I believe, right? Now, basically, what I'm gonna be going in tonight is, and this is part 1 of it, by the way. You understand? I'm a double back next week for y'all on Sunday and give y'all part 2 of it, because this class is this is a much needed class for brothers and sisters in Israel to understand that the spirit that Commander General Yohana has today, and all of the generals under him, and the captains, the officers, and the troopers, we have the same spirit on the priests and prophets of the Lord that wanted to fight to serve, that was willing to fight and die to serve the Lord, right? And the ISUBK, we are literally those same prophets of the days of old. You understand? We got the same spirit of those prophets, willing to fight and die to serve our God behind enemy lines. You understand? So what I'm gonna basically do tonight is I'm gonna bring up a couple of situations where brothers was basically in captivity, so to speak, right, up under other nations, but yet them brothers didn't take the coward way out and just bow down and want to do what those other nations wanted them to do. These brothers was willing to fight and die to serve the Lord. You understand? And it's so important in this that the ISUBK, we embody that spirit. We're the only organization of Black, Latino, and Native American men on planet Earth today that still have the same spirit of the prophets of the days of old. So I'm going to get into a couple of their stories. So if y'all could, Baba Kasha, and also Salakia too, make sure you like, subscribe, you understand, and share the classes. Like we trying to push this truth out to the 4 corners of planet Earth so we can go ahead and get back to our kingdom and to our way of life and in our rightful place on planet Earth, which is to be the rulers over all of these heathen nations so the whole earth can live in harmony up under Christ. You understand? First, we're gonna get to Exodus, the 2nd chapter, right? In Exodus, the 2nd chapter, we're gonna be talking a little bit about Moses, right? And how Moses basically was willing to put his life on the line, willing to put the riches that he grew up accustomed to on the line to save his people, to basically show his people that he loves them and they need to love each other. You understand? He literally I'm gonna go into a little bit of the story, but I'm gonna read a couple of these precepts, and then I'm gonna explain to you exactly what was going on. Right? Okay, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 2, and verse 11. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. Now, quick backstory on Moses. Moses was born in Egypt in a time where the Israelite boys were supposed to be murdered from birth, due to a decree set by the king of Egypt at that time, right? And by the grace of the Lord, Moses was able to live and survive through those times, right? So basically what happened was any male child that was to be born was to be murdered because they was trying to cripple our nation and cut our people off, right? So what happened was Moses's mother, she still gave birth to him, but she hid him about 3 months, right? When she seen she couldn't hide him no more, she basically put him in like a small ark or like something that could float on the river, and she sent him down the river and watched to make sure that he was gonna make it, right? So the king of Egypt at that time, his daughter, along with her handmaids, which the one of her handmaids just happened to be Moses' sister, right? The king of Egypt's daughter, she seen Moses and she was like, man, look, go get that for me. Y'all bring that back to me. And when they brought it back to her, she said, okay, man, this one of the Hebrews babies, right? And of course, she most likely knew that this was one of the Hebrew babies because of our custom of circumcision. You understand? So basically, she was like, man, look, his sister was like, you want me to go find his mother for you? Because she knew him like this is our little brother. My mama's not too far along, but it doesn't say whether the Egyptian princess knew if this was Moses's sister or not. You understand? So basically, she went to go get her mother, and her mother came to Pharaoh's daughter, and Pharaoh's daughter said to her mother, "Look, raise him up, nurture him for me, so I could take him as to be my son a little bit later on when he gets older, and I'm gonna pay you for it, right?" So basically, Moses understood that he was an Israelite because he was actually raised by his mother. But when he got a little bit older, he came to live with the queen, Salakia, with the princess of Egypt, Pharaoh's daughter at that time, right? So Moses, understanding that he's not an Egyptian, understanding that he's an Israelite because he was actually raised around his family, right? So when Moses got older, Moses went to go see what was going on with his people because he understood that I'm an Israelite, they Israelites, let me go see what's up with my family. And when he got there, he seen, so I can read that one more time. It's the book of Exodus chapter 2 and verse 11. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens and spied an Egyptian spiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. So when Moses got grown, he went out to go see the children of Israel, which he knew was his people, and he looked upon their burdens, like meaning he sat back and seen what type of poverty and oppression that they was in, right? And as he's watching his people, he sees an Egyptian basically beating on one of his people, beating on one of his brethren, right? And this is what Moses did, verse 12. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. So Moses, seeing one of his people being beaten, mistreated by one of these heathens, he looked around to make sure ain't wasn't nobody a witness to what he was about to do, and he slaughtered that Egyptian. He killed him. You understand? And he righteously killed him because in his mind it was righteous for him to kill him because this Egyptian was basically beating on his brother and oppressing his brother. Moses was willing to suffer the consequences of him basically saving his brother out of the hands of one of these heathens, right? Okay, verse 13. And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? Now Moses actually is in the spirit of brotherhood. Man, look, I like what y'all doing, bro. We the same people. From his actions on killing the Egyptian, knowing that he spent the majority of his life with these people and in a big castle with Pharaoh and all the gold and all the riches and all the things that come with being Pharaoh's so-called grandson, he gave all of that up to go out there and save one of his brethren from being beat and oppressed by one of these Egyptians, right? So when he came out the second day, he seen two of these Hebrew brothers fighting against each other. And he said to the one that did wrong to the other one, like, look, man, why are you doing your brother like this? This your brother. Y'all supposed to love each other, right? Okay. And he said to him that, Salaki, verse 14, and he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me as thou killedest the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known. So basically, right, Moses, he understood, like, okay, if I do something to one of these Egyptians, something bad is probably going to happen to me. This is why he looked to see if it wasn't no witnesses there. But Moses did, like, when he seen that there wasn't no witness, he went ahead and did what he thought was right because he loved his people. He was willing to fight for his people. You understand? And you're going to see a little bit later on down the story, Moses was literally like, for Moses to do what he did, to come back to the children of Israel to try to save their life against oppressors, right? Against a people that just wants them in servitude to them, you're literally risking your life. Just like a lot of the so-called black leaders that actually spoke up against the atrocities going on with black people, a lot of them was murdered. You understand? And basically going against the grain in the society that you're supposed to be a slave in, man, that can be a death sentence for you. But Moses still came back because he had that zeal to serve the Lord, and he had the zeal to get his people out of hell, even if it meant his life. All right. So I'm gonna drop that. I'm gonna jump to Exodus, the 5th chapter. And you got to understand what type of spirit you have to have in order for you to want to fight and die for your nation and people. You got to actually love your people to do this. And Commander General Yohana and the ISUBK, we love our people. Like, we get out there on them street corners every Saturday, wreaking hell on this society, wreaking hell on this king. We got a lot of our own people coming up against us. Y'all preaching hate and y'all this and y'all that, and telling us how evil we are when we sitting up here trying to wake blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans up to the atrocities that's being committed against them, and trying to teach them their true nationality according to the Bible, which is God's chosen people. Moses went through the same thing that we go through in the ISUBK. Just like they saying, who made you a prince and a lord of us? That's essentially what our people say every time we go out to camp on Saturdays, right? They tell us we preaching hate. They tell us God loves everybody. They tell us we supposed to forgive and forget. A real man that loves his nation, he ain't gonna forgive a heathen for doing his people wrong. He's not gonna forget the atrocities that was done wrong to his people in the past and the times before him. And I'm bringing you the same spirit back in the scriptures today that the men in the ISUBK have. Salaki, back in the scriptures of yesterday that the men in the ISUBK have today. Right? We're gonna jump to Exodus 5. Right? This is the book of Exodus, chapter 5. And afterwards, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. Right? So Moses, this is after he basically escapes the warrant that's a death sentence for him. And Moses comes back after being in the land of Midian for many years, right? So he eventually comes back, reunites with his brother and his sister, and they on Moses and Aaron are on a mission to get the children of Israel out of the hands of the Egyptians, right? And Pharaoh said, who is the Lord that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go, right? So Moses come holler at the Pharaoh, the Pharaoh of the later times, which was a different Pharaoh that actually wanted to kill him for him killing the Egyptian. He come back and hollered at the Pharaoh like, look, man, the Lord want us to go serve him. You understand? Like, let us go so we can go ahead and serve our God. The Egyptian Pharaoh like, hell no. I don't give a damn about your Lord, your God. Y'all niggas is making me a lot of money in this empire. Now y'all can't go serve y'all God, right? Verse 3. And they said, the God of the Hebrews had met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey in the desert and sacrifice unto the Lord our God, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword, right? So Moses, man, he adamant, like, look, man, the Lord that come visited us, we need to go to the wilderness to go serve our God before he wreak havoc on us, before he judge us, right? Verse 4, and the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their works get you unto your burdens? Man, Pharaoh like, hell no, I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. Y'all go ahead and get yourselves back out there and go back to work and continue making us money. You understand? Verse 5, and Pharaoh said, behold, the people, Salakia, behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens. So Pharaoh getting mad. He like, bro, we got a whole lot of y'all in servitude to us. It's a lot of y'all. Now you coming back here and you throwing a monkey wrench in our plan by letting your people sit back and stop working. You stopping my money. Now everybody knows in these times and in the days of old, you can get killed for getting in the way of somebody's money. You understand? But Moses didn't give a damn about that. Moses only cared about serving the Lord because he knew he loved the Lord. He knew he was sent back to Egypt to go get the children of Israel because this was the Lord's plan. And Moses was willing to fight and die for this. And you see that Moses is adamant about, like, Moses is fighting with the Pharaoh. You understand? Like, man, let us go, bro. We need to go serve our God. Right? I don't care about your economy and us building up y'all city and making you all this money. We need to go serve our God, right? And Pharaoh like, hell no, I don't care about y'all God. Y'all need to get yourselves back out there and build them pyramids and keep making keep building up these treasure cities for us, right? Verse 6. Salakia. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick, and heretofore let them go and gather straw for themselves. Verse 8, and the tale of the bricks which they did make heretofore, ye shall lay upon them. Ye shall not diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, let us go and sacrifice to our God. So what Pharaoh did, he like, look, man, this straw that y'all was giving them to make these bricks, don't give them no straw no more. But still make them feel that same quota of bricks that they got to make every day. Now the only difference is y'all don't help them by giving them no straw. You understand? These niggas is lazy. That's why it's like, let me see. It said, for they be idle. Meaning, man, them niggas is lazy. That's why they hollering this nonsense about serving they God. Them niggas is lazy. Y'all stop giving them straw and still tell them that they gotta make the same amount of bricks that they was making when y'all was giving them straw, right? Salakia. Verse 9. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. So you like, man, look, make it harder on them. You understand? Salakia. Oh, and it says, and let them not regard vain words. Man, they better not say nothing about it. You understand? Verse 10. And the taskmasters of the people went out and their officers, and they spake to the people, saying, thus saith Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Go ye, get you straw where you can find it. Yet not aught of your work shall be diminished. Verse 12. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Egypt to gather stubble instead of straw. And the taskmasters hasted them, saying, fulfill your works, your daily task, as when there was straw. So the taskmaster's like, look, man, we ain't giving y'all no straw. Go find the straw yourselves, and then y'all come back and y'all make sure y'all fulfill the same type of work that you was doing when we was giving you straw. And when they say he hasted them, it mean they rushed them. You understand? Verse 14. And the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten and demanded, wherefore have ye not fulfilled your task in making brick, both yesterday and today, as to herefore? So the officers over the children of Israel, like the chief people of the children of Israel, up under these taskmasters, up under these Egyptians, they getting beat because the rest of the children of Israel can't fulfill the same type of works that they was fulfilling when they was getting the straw. So they beating them. You understand? Verse 15. Then the officers of the children of Israel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, wherefore dealest thou thus with thy servants? So these officers, like these chief men of the children of Israel, that's basically the head over the children of Israel, they going to Pharaoh like, bro, why you doing us like this? Like, we work for y'all, like we've been upholding our end of the bargain by serving y'all. Like, why is y'all doing us like this, right? Yeah. Verse 16. There is no straw given unto thy servants, and they say to us, make brick, and behold, thy servants are beaten, but the fault is in thine own people. So brothers and sisters that's being beat by these Egyptians, like, look, man, y'all ain't giving us no straw no more. And the reason why we can't fulfill our quota on the bricks that we used to make is because of y'all. Like, this is y'all fault. We can't produce as much bricks as we was in the before time, because now y'all not giving us no straw, right? But he said, ye are idle, ye are idle. Therefore ye say, let us go and do sacrifice to the Lord. Man, Pharaoh like, man, you niggas lazy. That's the only reason why y'all want to leave here to go so-called serve y'all God. And you niggas is lazy, right? A lot, yeah. Verse 18. Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you, yet ye shall deliver the tale of bricks. Right? Verse 19. And the officers of the children of Israel did see that they were in evil case. After it was said, ye shall not diminish aught from your bricks of your daily task. So they seeing like, dang, bro, like this is messed up. Like, what now we totally understand, like these people, they really doing some evil stuff upon us, right? Verse 20. And they met Moses and Aaron, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh. And they said unto them, the Lord look upon you and judge, because ye have made our savor to be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servant, to put a sword in their hands to slay us. Now the children of Israel are literally asking the Lord to curse Moses and Aaron for them coming down and basically putting a monkey wrench in Pharaoh's plan to keep us working for them and keep us in servitude. Now, since Moses and Aaron is asking for us to go to the Lord so we can be able to serve our God, Pharaoh like, nah, man, you niggas lazy. That's the only reason why y'all want to leave. So he making it harder on the children of Israel. And the children of Israel that is being hard, that is getting harder on, they looking at Moses and them like, man, you niggas that came down here and messed our lives up. man, the Lord gonna judge all for that. You understand? They essentially asking or telling them that they asked the Lord to curse these brothers. You understand? Verse 22. And Moses returned unto the Lord and said, Lord, wherefore hast thou so evil entreated this people? Why is it that thou hast sent me? So now Moses is coming back praying to the Lord, like, man, Salakia, sir, like, why are you doing these people so evil? And why have you sent me to do it? You understand? Verse 22. For since I came to speak in thy name, he have done evil to this people. Neither hast thou delivered thy people at all. You understand? And Moses like, man, look, since I came and spoke in your name, he been doing worse and worse to these people, and he still ain't delivered them. Now you got to understand that the type of mind frame Moses is in. Moses just came back from being away from the children of Israel many years. He came back to try to save them because the Lord told him to save them. And now the children of Israel are being done way worse by Pharaoh and the Egyptians because he came down there to try to get them freed from their bondage. You understand? And on top of that, you got the children of Israel basically like cussing Moses out. Man, this nigga that came down here and made our lives a living hell up under these Egyptians. Man, if you ain't come down here, bro, we'd have been all right. I wouldn't. Now, put yourself in Moses' shoes. Moses willing to serve the Lord and do what the Lord says. Now he got the Egyptians against him, and he got his own brethren, the children of Israel, against him, right? Okay, I'm gonna read verse Shalakia. We're gonna read the 6th chapter. Then the Lord said unto Moses, Now shalt thou see what I will do to Pharaoh. For with a strong hand shall he let him go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land. Verse 2. And God spake unto Moses, saying unto him, I am the Lord, and I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty, but by my name Yahweh was I not known to them. And I will also establish my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers. Now look, the Lord telling Moses, like, yeah, bro, like now you're gonna see what I'm about to do to these Egyptians. You're gonna understand why I sent you back there for you to go tell him to let these people go. You understand? I'm about to judge these damn Egyptians, and they're going to let the children of Israel go. And what he say? It says, for with a strong hand shall he let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land. The Lord about to do a number on these damn heathens. You understand? And he said with a strong hand, meaning he gonna push us the hell out of his land. Right now, all he wants us to do is sit back in servitude and for us to build up his treasure cities and to keep making him rich. But he gonna hate the children of Israel so much because of what the Lord is about to do to these people. He about to drive them out with a strong hand, meaning he gonna force them out of their land, right? So like, yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop that chapter. But basically, the spirit of Moses was, I'm willing to fight for the Lord. If it costs me my life, if it costs me freedom, I'm willing to fight for the Lord at any cost. And what Moses did essentially was he kept going back to Pharaoh. Let us go, man. We need to go serve our Lord. Like fighting for us to go serve our power. And eventually, the Lord put all these damn plagues on these Egyptians to where they eventually kicked us out of their land. The Pharaoh he reneged on kicking us out of our land and tried to come send his armies after us. And y'all know what happened with that story. The Lord parted the Red Sea by the hands of Moses, and Moses and the children of Israel got to walk through the Red Sea. The Egyptians thought they was going to be able to do that too. That was wrong. The Lord made that water collapse on them and drowned that whole Egyptian army. You know why? Because Moses was willing to fight for the children of Israel. He was willing to fight for his God. You understand? Let's get into go to the book of Daniel, 3rd chapter. Like it there with me, Israel. You attending class, put your name, city, and state. If you're working on that Hebrew name, you know what I'm saying? So you can get up in this body with us and do your part to help your people get up out of this land of captivity. And we, us, the children of Israel, and the ISUPK by the Commander General Yohanan, we do this so our king can come save us. You understand? We do this for the children of Israel to be set back in a righteous place as the rulers on planet Earth. You understand? Let's go to Daniel, the 3rd chapter, right? This is the book of Daniel, chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 1. Nebuchadnezzar made an image of gold whose height was 60 cubits and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon, right? So quick backstory on this, right? In these times, the children of Israel, Salakia, the southern kingdom of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, mostly, we are in slavery in Babylon. You understand? They came to Babylon and Salakia, they came to Judea and carried us into Babylon as slaves, right? So right now in these times, we are living up under the Babylonian captivity, and the Babylonians are the rulers over us, right? And Nebuchadnezzar the king, he made an image of gold whose height was 60 cubits and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. So Nebuchadnezzar, he had a big statue of gold and he set it up, right? So like it says, he set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Verse 2. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up, right? So everybody who was a high official in these Babylonian provinces, he called them to come see this big statue, right? Then the princes, the governors and captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then an herald cried out, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up. And whosoever falleth not down and worship it shall the same hour be cast in the midst of a burning fiery furnace. So Nebuchadnezzar sets up this big golden statue. He say, look, whenever you hear these instruments of music, everybody that lives in these provinces, you got to bow down and worship this statue. Salakia. It says, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up. So basically, when they played these musical instruments, it was a decree and a law that Nebuchadnezzar put up. look, you got to bow down and serve this image. If you don't bow down and serve this image, we're going to put you in a fiery furnace. You understand? We're going to burn you alive, right? So likely. Verse 7. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and languages fell down and worshiped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And Salakia, it wasn't just the people in the Babylonian provinces. It was all people, nations, and languages, right? Salakia. Verse 8, wherefore at that certain time Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said, the king of Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, Salakia, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. Verse 11, and whosoever falleth not down and worship it, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Verse 12, there are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up, right? And Salakia. So some of these Chaldeans, they came back to Nebuchadnezzar and was like, look, bro, a couple of these Jews that you gave seats to, these dudes is not bowing down and worshiping the image that you told everybody that they had to worship. You understand? Verse 13, then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. So Nebuchadnezzar, he livid, he's hot, he's super mad. And he like, man, bring them niggas up here. You understand? Bring them to me. Oh, they not worshiping the image that I told everybody to worship. Bring them niggas to me. You understand? And it says, verse 14, Nebuchadnezzar spake and said to them, is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Verse 15, now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made, well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? Now he said, look, next time y'all hear this damn music, y'all better worship these images. Y'all better worship my gods and my images. If y'all don't, I'm throwing y'all into that fiery burning furnace, right? Verse 16, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. He like, man, look, I don't know what to tell you. We ain't careful to answer you in this matter, meaning, I don't know what we gonna do, bro. Like, we'll see how it goes, right? Verse 17, if it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. Verse 18, but if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Right? Salaki, let me read 17 over again. He said, if it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. He said, look, man, if you put us in that fiery furnace, man, our Lord will come save us. But if he don't, we not bowing down and worshiping to your image. We would rather die in that fiery furnace than to worship your images. You understand? And the spirit on them was so zealous in this. You gotta be you can't be a coward to sit up there and tell the king to his face, look, if our God gonna deliver us from that, so be it. If he don't deliver us, I don't give a damn. We not sitting down, bound down, worshiping your images. That's not the God that we serve. You understand? We serve the living God of the children of Israel. We not sitting down and bowing down to your image, whether we die or not. You understand? These brothers was willing to die for what they believed in. They was willing to die to serve their God. You understand? And to make a long story short, I'm gonna paraphrase the end of this chapter. Basically, these brothers was put into this furnace, right? And after it was put into the furnace, so like I'm gonna just go ahead and read it. Verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. So he got so mad, he started looking at these niggas that he didn't give seats to, and he's so full of rage. He like, man, look, set that furnace 7 times hotter than it's ever been. You understand? Set it 7 times hotter than y'all have ever made that furnace. I'm finna barbecue these niggas right here. Verse 20. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. So he like, man, he go get the mightiest dudes up out of his army and told them to tie these niggas up and put them in the furnace. Verse 21. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Verse 22. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego. Man, this furnace so hot. The same dudes that he told to put these Israelite brothers in this furnace, they ended up dying. You understand? From the furnace being so hot. Verse 23. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Verse 24. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. Verse 25. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loosely walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. You understand? Nebuchadnezzar, like, bro, didn't we put 3 brothers in that fire? He like, yeah, that's true, king. One of his counselors getting like, yeah, that's true, king. We put 3 brothers in the fire. He like, man, look, I see 4 niggas in there, and they not hurt. And that 4th one, Salaki, this how he described the 4th one. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Man, that's the Spirit of Christ in there with those brothers. You understand? He like, man, that 4th one looks like the Son of God in there with them. Like, why is them niggas not dying in there? I know we put 3 people in there. It's 4 in there. They not hurt. and one looks like the Son of God in there, right? Verse 26. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to speak, Salakia. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose body the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head signed. Salakia, seen. Neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. Man, didn't nothing happen to these brothers. They coats didn't get burned a little bit, and no fire. The smell of smoke didn't even get on these brothers' clothes, right? It's a lot, yeah. Verse 28. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who have sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any God except their own God. Man, this heathen seeing this miraculous miracle happen with these brothers not getting killed in this fiery furnace, that he was so mad that he set 7 times hotter. Man, he bowed down and worshiped our God. You understand? All because these brothers had the spirit. All because these brothers had the spirit to serve our God if it meant their life. You understand? Verse 29. Therefore, I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. You see what happened when you serve your God? When you serve your God, the Lord is coming to fight for you. You understand? Like, if you're willing to lay your life down, like Commander General Yohanan and the men in the ISUBK, the Lord is going to fight for you every time. You understand? And this is the spirit that brothers in the ISUBK have on them today. Like I said before, we the only organization in the world right now that is willing to fight for the Lord our God and die doing it. You understand? We ain't affiliated with none of these. We ain't affiliated with none of these fake Israelite groups. We ain't affiliated with none of these Christian churches. We ain't affiliated with no organization, nobody but the ISUBK all over the globe. You understand? Let me Salaki, let me drop that. Let me get the book of Ecclesiastes real quick. Salaki is real, bear with me. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. Verse 10. Is there anything wherefore it may be said, see, this is new? It had already, Shalaki, it had been already of old time, which was before us. You understand? Nothing new under the sun. The same spirits that lived on planet Earth back in the day, same spirits that live on planet Earth today. You understand? The same events that we went through back in those days, the same events that we were going to go through in these times. You understand? I'm going to go ahead and end it because we're going to do a part 2 of it next Sunday. You understand? Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shabrak Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamor Allah Thun Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah to the sisters. This has been another episode of Nothing New Under the Sun. You understand? Like I said, like, share, subscribe, put your name, city, and state so we can mark you down for attendance. and pay your tithes. You understand? We got the Feast of Purim coming up, right? And then after that, the next high holy day is the Passover, which is gonna be held in Florida, right? With that being said, Shalom, Israel.